This is Amy Poehler. My new movie, Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, is coming to theaters June 14th, and it's making me feel joy and sadness and anger, definitely some disgust, and I think a little fear. But I'm also feeling these new emotions like anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui.
It's what you call the boredom.
Okay, that one was weird. It's gonna be the feel everything movie of the summer. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2, rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters June 14th. Get tickets now.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for Season 15, Episode 5, titled House of Fashion. My name is Joe Betance, and I am joined, as always, by two trend-setting co-hosts. First, from the podcast, Bravo, fucking Bravo. It's actually effing Bravo. Please say...
And speaking of mess...
to Nathan Patrick Brown. Hello, Nathan. How are you?
Good, thanks, Joe. Hi, Joe. How are you?
How are you? Yeah, you and I just had a very good call. I mean, not call, sorry. Meeting just between us girls before Robert was here. I didn't want to bother Robert. We know he had to put on... He spent a lot of time taking his sleeves off.
I actually did have to put a shirt on for this.
Yeah.
I had to kick my ex out of my apartment.
Wait. We're going to get back to this in a second. I think Nathan would have appreciated no shirt. I don't know why you had to put a shirt.
Yeah, pop it off.
I'm doing kind of like a layer thing. Like maybe next time I'll be completely shirtless.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good thing. Like strip poker.
Exactly. You got to give the girls some time to get in.
Yeah. That's actually like almost like burlesque is kind of like that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's my talent show.
Well, let's bring you on. And from the podcast, Bring It to the Runway, it's been brought into the runway. Please say hello to Roberto Mata.
Is the lady of the house home?
How is that relevant?
I don't know. To be honest with you, it was really close to... It was really close to the speaking of messes. So I was like, all right, it'll do.
For sure.
Anyway, Robert, how are you?
I'm splendid. It's been a great morning. How are you, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Sipping your coffee?
Well, I'll tell you how I'm doing. I have to give a trigger warning to everybody. Well, first of all, let me do my Patreon plugs and all that, blah, 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 blah. Even though it's getting to the point now where we might have to like start splitting them up along the show. So why don't we do this? YouTube, everybody is watching. We've never announced this before. I think I casually mentioned it last week. I'm making an official announcement. If you want to watch the show live, taped, recorded, we do it every Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, right here at the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Drag Race Recap. Go over there, sign up, subscribe. You'll get the notifications. We go live. You'll see Robert right now. Sleeveless today. Next time he's on, which is about a month, he'll be shirtless, supposedly. You can see the whole thing happen. And, honestly, there's a new feature, and another reason to watch the YouTube is now I fully edit the show big time. Bigly. And we'll talk about this on the Patreon side of things later in the show. They're getting like an extra half hour of content just because I'm trying to keep the live feed to like an hour. So if you're not listening, you're missing a lot of content. You're missing our thoughts on the Real Friends of WeHo. You're missing, which I'm sure everybody's dying to hear our thoughts on that. You're missing
all our mean-spirited rants, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think don't make it onto the public feed.
Spirited rants. Yeah. If you're a big fan of that, then you're really, really missing it. But, now let's get to the thing at hand. So Robert asked how my morning was. It was going fine, but I have to give a trigger warning.
Oh.
So let me tell you the structure of the show today, and it's by design. Here's what we're going to do. Everything before the break, the entire show before the break, is going to be the show. But without the looks. So we're going to do the workroom, the reading challenge, the lip sync, everything. Minus the looks. We're going to take a break, and we come back, we're going to talk about the looks. Here's the trigger warning. When we come back from the break, Bring It to the Runways, Christian Ochoa will be joining us for the looks. So...
You girls are so nasty.
No, here's the deal. And I have a thing to relate to about this. Is he's very polarizing. And so I get a lot of people who give their opinion to me. If whatever your opinion is, I've heard it from people who are listening. So I messaged him privately, Robert, and I said, listen, I need you to behave, okay? Don't insult Nathan. Don't come in all extra. Just be you. Be the person that you, Robert, and I love, okay? Don't you have to be extra. He never responds to that text message. He goes into the group text message with me and Robert and starts fighting with me. And all of a sudden now he's Patty Lupone and he needs the special outlines and he needs the link, which I told him the same link that I sent him last week. And he's like, well, why don't I have it yet, doll? I mean, I'm just trying to be professional for your show. Forgive me for that. And so I'm like, oh, this is going to be a fucking mess. I already have like knots in my stomach about it. Anyway, the way I relate it to Drag Race is this week, there was a lot of drama because Monet, actually don't even know what the result of this drama was. Because on their private Patreon, Bob and Monet were like, we're going to have like a big meeting because people were being a lot in the Patreon messages about Todrick. And the Reddit community as a whole is like very like, we love Bob, we love Monet. How is it that they stand by this horrible human being, just piece of garbage, Todrick Hall? And at first I was like, yeah, what's wrong with them? And then I was like, oh. Because people should know, yesterday I went to this funeral. Nathan doesn't even know this. It literally was a mile away from Christian's house. And I just didn't want to be a hypocrite and go to the Catholic Mass. So I went to the nearby cemetery and I looked for Laura Scudder's grave. And then I went to Christian's house and I bought him a Starbucks and delivered it to him. And at the end, I hugged him and said, I love you. And which I do. I have this deep family love for Christian. But in a lot of ways that my cousins drive me crazy, he drives me crazy. So like, I get Bob and Monet being conflicted. I'm sure they have this love for Todrick, yet see like how problematic it is. Robert, why don't you weigh in here since he bullied you?
Well, Todrick Hall bullied me.
No, Christian. You know, I got a few messages. I got more than one message from people saying, not Christian saying he was bullied and then revealing that he was the bully.
Well, I don't even know if Christian was a bully really in school, but I like to the Todrick and Monet and Bob thing. It kind of reminded me that Monet stood by Meghan McCain for quite a long time.
That's right. Yeah.
So like it's not like their first time having like questionable acquaintances, you know? And it's clear that both Bob and Monet, as much as we love them, are also still trying to get more and more famous. So they're going to latch on to whatever rising stars they can find. Right.
So I guess I should rescind my invitation to George Santos to be a guest in the show.
Oh, no, please.
Oh, no.
The girls need to hear.
Yeah. Nathan, did you have anything to weigh in on this Christian thing?
I'm excited to meet him. I feel like we've talked so much about him. It'll be cathartic to actually bring him onto the show.
That's a way to put it. All right. This week, the queens read each other before flipping home decor into haute couture on the runway. Luxe Noir London is named the winner of the challenge, while Amethyst and Selena Estites are placed in the bottom two after a lip-sync battle for their lives. Selena was told, Shantae, you stay, while Amethyst was asked to sashay away. Ladies, name two things about the episode and one thing you did not. Let's start with our very special guest, this Roberto Mata.
Let's see. I know that we're not talking about the look, so I'm just going to put a quick pin in it, but Lux's look was, I think, the best design
talk about that.
look ever. Mm-hmm. Like, that was just phenomenal. I think ever. If you can, in the meantime, think of some looks that
I can already tell you.
Rival that? Who?
I can tell you.
Let's see them.
Who was that fucking tall bitch from a couple seasons ago who made one of the best looks ever?
Utica.
You're saying
it
better
was
than
good,
Utica's?
but it wasn't as flat out, stunningly gorgeous as Lux's look was.
That's true.
Incredibly well constructed.
You agree with that, Nathan?
I think it didn't look like unconventional materials. It looked like proper material.
That's a skill.
Which is great. Whereas Utica was wearing a sleeping bag. As much as it looked great, it still looked like a sleeping bag. Whereas what Lux did was amazing.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about this in the looks. Go ahead. Next.
Yeah. And I also just liked seeing Spice alone, even though I'm not a huge Sugar and Spice fan. It's just good to, it kind of like seeing a dog on its hind legs. You know, there it is.
Okay.
What did I not like about the episode? Oh, I didn't like any of the bottom. I didn't agree with the bottom placements. I thought I was being lied to.
Very controversial on Reddit. Very controversial.
Oh, really? I haven't had the time yet.
Oh, yeah. People are pretty pissed off about that. Nathan, what about you?
So, two things I liked. The first thing, I liked the challenge concept. I thought it was like a fun idea to break them up for a design challenge and have them have to be cohesive. I thought that was a nice twist that was like low stakes. It didn't really matter that much, but it was a nice level of difference. The second thing, I liked Janelle Monáe. I thought she was great. And Joe, your theory about the celebrity with a song for the lip sync not singing along, it holds up.
Yeah.
Add her to the list. The thing I didn't like, okay, so if I have to hear Spice talking about dolls one more fucking time, I am going to lose it. How has she just lost her twin and her big trauma of her life is just that she had to pretend she was buying a doll for someone else? I shut the fuck up about dolls.
That's a good segue, Nathan. Next week, we have added a new rotating guest co-host, Javi. If you guys, for those old school people, will be here, who is a lead Barbie designer at Mattel, and I believe might be the new lead designer on the new Monster High reboot. So he'll be here next week in the guest co-host chair.
So we're going to talk about dolls. Great.
Yeah, you can tell it to him next week, Nathan, that you don't want to hear about dolls.
I'm sick of them.
All right. Really quickly with me, reading challenge. I'll be honest with you. People who have short memories, they've been very, 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 very weak for the past decade, I'll be honest with you almost. This was actually a pretty strong one. Maybe it's the edit, but then to me, you're making a case for the shorter edit. Because I'm saying if there would have been other ones, we would have seen them somewhere else and Untucked or whatever. Nope, just the good stuff. And I thought on the whole it was better. Next, I do like this Janelle Monáe. The one criticism I would have is, maybe I'm wrong. Why do I think Janelle Monáe is a bigger deal than just the random girl who's on Riverdale? Like it sort of had that same feel. Like it's like the girl from Riverdale, the all about the bass girl, and Janelle Monáe. I'm like, no, they're not the same.
Yeah.
Let's move on. All right. After Sugar's elimination, Spice is emotional after Sugar's departure and believes she deserves to be here. That Sugar deserves to be here over some other girls. Wink, wink, aura. And Mistress and Marcia continue their untucked beef. Let's start with Nathan Patrick Brown. Any big thoughts on this? Post-elimination teaser, cold open?
Not really, just that we're still debating like the battle for second place. I just think this is just going to be something that happens every episode for some reason with these queens. I just don't get it. And there's stuff about like Sugar being annoyed and like who should have gone instead of Spice being annoyed about who should have gone instead of Sugar. Like that's interesting because really when you look at it, I guess Aura should have been in the bottom, but they're twins. They're going to be in the bottom. Like, that's the game. Yeah. So you can't be too pressed, but they do have a point.
Roberto Mata?
Well, the girls fighting for second place is presumably just practice for the finale when they all lose to Sasha Colby, right? Yeah. So they're building that narrative up from the ground. But, Aura should have been in the bottom, but she wasn't. So move on. Yeah. I like seeing Spice get angry, though. It was cute. Like a kid throwing a tantrum.
This might, of all my notes, I have very few notes on this episode, but this segment has the most notes. Spice comes in. She's sobbing. She's crying. I have to repeat. Are they fucking? Are these twins fucking each other?
Like the Peters twins?
Yeah, like the Peters twins? Because the way that this bitch is crying, and she's like, as if they only tape for like 3 to 4 weeks, right? Like she's gonna see her in a couple weeks.
She's still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive. She's gonna see her in 2 weeks. I think Sugar makes this point actually in her Untucked confessional last week, and I think it's a really good point, is that Drag Race, and especially since they're so young, is such a small part of their existence, and they're going to go on and do a bunch of other things. It's just one little chapter. The way the Spice is crying, this is not the end of their life. It's very strange.
That's how I felt every time the girls cry during an elimination. Not their own elimination, because I can understand that, but when let the music play and then a bunch of girls are sobbing, it's like, pull it together, man. Like, come on.
And you want to win, so shouldn't you be happy that another bitch is gone?
Yeah. I don't get it. Also, I have here, I love when, so then, she's wiping away the lipstick and Spice is crying. And this is a bigger topic, but the other girls are like, it's okay, Spice, we're here for you. And I'm like, why does anybody have to be here? She is an adult. But it's just whenever there's a cute white twink crying, people immediately want to help them. It's almost like that. I've seen black people tweet about this, about when white women cry. I saw it.
Yes,
like,
it's a huge thing.
Yeah. So it's almost the same thing with twinks. When they cry, people are like, oh, we need to stop them. We need to stop them from crying. They're not allowed to cry or be sad.
Well, I know she's polarizing, but the Vixen pointed that out in the first Untucked with Aquaria in season 10 and said, what you're doing right now, you're crying, you're making me look like vicious because everyone's going to defend the infantile twink.
And that is a great segue. Speaking of, this is a subject from this week, is in this teaser here, in this cold open, the Mistress and Marsha, because it's only been a couple minutes for them, continue their sort of argument about who is this fake second place that doesn't exist. And but in the real world, as a result, I don't know if you know this, Nathan, but like Mistress has been banned from like Instagram, or is it Twitter? Like Instagram 3 times this week from the pressed people who, again, going back to the fucking, is because Marsha, the white twink, was yelled at by a fat Mexican. That they're like, oh, we have to like, they started reporting her profile and everything like that, and it's just, even Marsha had to come out and be like, I actually have to give her props. It said like, guys, it's a white twink coming to people are coming to my defense. They're white knighting for me. Don't do this. We're all friends. We're over it. And my thing is here too, is do you think, going back to the twins, do you think because you defended her and you reported Mistress that Marsha's gonna fuck you?
Exactly.
She's not. You're a gross pig. Nathan, go ahead.
Well, and the thing is, like, these Marsha stands, did they really look at like what was presented on the runway and think like Marsha was robbed? Marsha was robbed of second place? I could not believe it.
It doesn't exist. There's no second place. Anyway.
I have a slightly hot take on the matter, which is that I think that it's easy to kind of cast the narrative being like rabid white stans, like the teenage girls got Mistress Isabel Brooks's Instagram shut down, but it also is probably just as likely that Texas, being such a polarized conservative state with all the political rhetoric against drag queens these days, like it could easily also be just like right-wing maniacs like targeting Texan drag queens.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Mistress Isabel Brooks being the current girl in vogue, like, you know, that could be it too.
Could be too. Oh, by the way, speaking of, before we go on, one more thing. Spice, later in the workroom, she's talking to Mistress Isabel Brooks, and Mistress presses her about who she thinks should have gone home, and she starts playing coy because she said that someone else should go home. And then it becomes a thing. First of all, Spice should have never said that in the workroom, but if she did, she's right to not say it out loud. She is 100% correct. Oh, Robert, you disagree?
No, it's out of respect for Dela again. I'm like, say it. Say the name. Say it.
What do you think, Nathan?
Yes, say it. And I don't know why. It felt like production was trying to protect her when the next day Aura was like, I heard while de-dragging, which, I mean, I don't know if she heard it or not, but she asks her, and then Rue walks in immediately. And I'm like, why are we prolonging drama? There should have been a producer saying, Rue, hold off. Like, come on.
Yeah. As if RuPaul's like rushing from backstage to walk into the workroom. She's standing there waiting for her cue. All right. The next day, Aura challenges Spice to name who Spice felt should have gone home. But Spice is saved by RuPaul entering the workroom. We just talked about that. The library is open for the reading challenge. Several girls have some good reads, but Lucy LaDuca shines brightest and wins the mini challenge. Start with you, Robert. Your thoughts here on the reading challenge?
I personally love it when they flop horribly, like
yeah.
Laganja's reading challenge.
Or Coco.
Everyone who did horribly in the last few years maybe has done unentertainingly horribly, but I like a good cringe moment. And there were a few this episode where I'm like, if you gave 6 reads and the one that they're airing is a pooter, like, I guess you really did horrible. And I wanted good cringe. But I'm also a fan of the quick pace, so I liked it. Lucy, the reads were fine.
All right, what about you, Nathan?
I disagree. I think it went way too quick. I think we really...
Oh, really?
Yeah. I because like Robert, I like to see when they flop. But also, I need a bit more knowledge, because I think in Untucked someone was like, oh, your reads were really good. And I'm like, we only saw one of them. Like, I can't judge. I'd love to see it to believe it. And it is a bad sign. So maybe they had nothing. And that's why they just showed the best one of each. But let us see, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like, clearly watching it, I'm like, oh, well, Lucy got 3. Everyone else got 1. So, of course, Lucy won.
I'll agree with you. I'll disagree with you. I do think, you know, I was watching this with Jeremy the Dark Knight, and we were in the workroom, and he was just like, they were just talking about fucking nothing. Nothing. There was nothing going on in the workroom. And I said, everybody wants these episodes longer. This is the best of what they had. This is what you're watching right now. It's the best of what they have. And it's like, maybe you should tie it around your waist. But going back to what you're saying, Nathan, maybe they should have put the reading challenge longer and less workroom.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think if you saw the whole thing, like, what's preventing them from releasing the whole thing on social media?
They should.
They could be saving it for a director's cut.
Everyone's going to really want that director's cut of season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
If they release a director's cut of seasons 2 through 6, I will pay top dollar.
Oh, I'll pay top dollar for season 6. I'll also pay top dollar for director's cut of All Stars 2.
I'll pay top dollar for All Stars 1, honestly.
Yeah. I would take my fucking money for a director's cut of the Untucked from All Stars 1 episode 1.
Just release the cam footage. Oh, that's not a thing to say right now, but I want the full footage.
Next, RuPaul announced the Maxi Challenge. Yes, sir.
Back on the reads, though, were there any that you particularly liked? Because I was super gagged by that Lucy Malaysia flight. I don't know if I laughed, but I went like that. Did you guys have a reaction to that one?
I actually thought it was a bit weak. It was one of those reads that barely connects. It needs to be workshopped. Robert's not wrong.
The joke is good. The wording was clunky.
Okay. So, and that was one of the better ones.
Here's the deal. Look, this is the first reading challenge that we've had in a long time. Forget the quality of the jokes, whatever. There were a few seasons, like 3 or 4, like seasons 12 through 14 or something, where they wouldn't even read. They'd be like, Nathan Brown, your eyes are so blue, I could swim in them.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next, RuPaul announces the Maxi Challenge. The queens will form 3 fashion houses and use home decor to create cohesive collections. The queens ransack their assigned rooms to get materials for their looks. In the workroom, the girls compare their materials and create their team's concept. Selena wants to end the House of Cressley show with a dramatic gown. Spice plans to bring a slutty energy to the runway, and House of Matthews designs a cohesive thread using palm trees. For the table visits, Rue enters the workroom to meet with the houses. Many of the girls sew. Some, like Spice, Malaysia, and Amethyst, don't sew and plan to use prayer and a hot glue gun to make it through the challenge. Back in the workroom, House of Visage changes their concept. Spice is again asked who she thinks should have gone up instead of Sugar, and Lux attempts to help Amethyst with her look. A lot to cover there, but yet nothing at all. Let's start with Nathan Patrick Brown. Your thoughts on everything that happened before Elimination Day, between the challenge announcement and Elimination Day. What happened? What are your thoughts here?
I have a few thoughts. One of my most prominent thoughts was when Lucy was saying, guys, the thing is, we're used to performing in a dark nightclub, but now with lights on the runway, we need to make sure that our hems are finished and that we look good. And I'm like, yeah, we get it, bitch. Like, stop drag-splaining to us how lights and cameras work. It's season fucking 15. She is so annoying to me for some reason.
Wow.
I like what she presents.
I hate her.
But she's just so annoying.
Work. Let's start the I Hate Lucy fan club because that's how I feel. I'm just not a fan. She makes me uncomfortable. Girl.
All right. Very good. Nathan? Oh, Robert, you already went?
No, but I don't have anything substantial to say about the midsection.
I really don't either.
I have another hot take, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead, Nathan.
I think Malaysia's lying to us. I think she has done sewing lessons before. She said she just took one. I think she's lying to have an angle on the main stage, being like, look what I did with just one lesson.
Well, that hat was rotted.
We're not at the looks yet. I like when they said, oh, we were randomly assigned to groups. Like, no, you weren't. To you, it seemed random, not to the producers. Okay, we need to have this conversation. what is Lux doing during her confessionals? Because I've seen her in the workroom, right? See her in the workroom, normal human adult. And then in the confessional, she's doing something where she looks like one of those Snapchat filters that makes you look like a baby. What is that?
Well, everyone on the cast is 12 years old except for Sasha Colby, so
I know.
what are you gonna do?
Like it's like she's there with this giant pink hat, and she's like, she has no neck all of a sudden, which she in reality has a neck, and she's like, I don't know. I just it's not giving me. And you're like, what happened to her?
Her Valley Girl accent slays me.
Yeah.
I can't stop saying gags you a little bit for sure.
Next, that was a great transition. All right, let's do another transition here. It's Elimination Day, and the queens get ready for the runway. Jax shares her experience as a person of color adopted by white parents, and Spice opens up about her love of dolls. Roberto Mata, your thoughts there?
Pretty similar to Nathan about the fact that we've heard about dolls so fucking much. I don't need to be hearing about dolls at the bar on a Friday night anymore. Let's move on. Jax getting adopted by white parents. I've also heard that narrative a few times. She didn't offer anything new to the standard perspective of what that's like. So work. But I like Jax. For some reason, people seem to have a bit of a bone to pick with her, but I like that queen. Do it.
All right. Very good. Nathan, what about you?
Yeah, this fucking dolls conversation. I did not like how it got brought up. I think she goes, Lux, it's funny that you said you used to like runways as a child. I like dolls. And then she just started talking about fucking dolls. Again, a fucking again. Nothing new, nothing. Same old shit. Same old fucking shit.
I like that Spice thought the one thing preventing people from knowing she was gay when she was a kid is she had that if they knew she had dolls, they would know she was gay. Right? Bitch, they have eyes and ears. They would know if you were gay. Like, it's not the doll. It's not like, oh, well, you have dolls, well, then you must be gay, right? That she's fucking her twin. I think they already kind of know that. Next, Robert, you ever been to New York City?
Yeah, I actually lived there for a little bit.
You live there? Oh, perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nathan, you ever been to New York City?
Yeah, I actually stayed at a hostel for a week.
Work.
Okay. I've been to New York as well. People who don't know the geography of the United States should know. Connecticut is a 90-minute train ride from New York City.
Right there.
It's right there, okay? Jax is, first of all, I've been to Connecticut many times. There are a ton of black people and people of color. And I don't know what part of Connecticut she's from. I will give her that. I don't know what part she's from. But the parts that I've been to, I saw a lot of people of color in Connecticut. Two, she's like, okay, but we'll give her. Let's say she lives in a very white part of Connecticut. People have never seen a black person in Connecticut. But then she said, it wasn't until I moved to New York. I'm like, you're a train ride away. Who are you fooling? It's not like you're in like Des Moines, right? You're a train ride away. You've been to the city, I'm sure, multiple times.
That's actually funny for you to explain that to me, because I was picturing like something so rural. And the way Lucy talked about Connecticut last week as well, I was like, fuck, wow. Why are they still living there if they hate it so much?
No.
It's a bougie place.
Yeah, it's
like
really
generally. Of course it has its rough spots, but Connecticut's it's a New England bougie kind of spot.
I'm picturing tumbleweeds from how they're describing it. Wow.
No.
Nice houses. Think nice houses in Connecticut.
Yeah. So, anyway, so that was just my one thought. Okay, finally on the main stage, RuPaul names Lux Noir London the winner of the challenge and places Selena Estites and Amethyst in the bottom two, forcing them to face off in a lip sync battle for their lives. The song Queen by Janelle Monáe. In the end, Selena lives to see another day, while Amethyst is asked to sashay away. Ladies, any final thoughts on the episode before we go to the break? Let's start with you, Mr. Nathan Patrick Brown.
Yep. So I thought it was so funny that Lux won the product placement that she was commenting on earlier when they were getting the look. She was like, I love Sunday Riley. And then she won the product. So that's good for her.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the lip sync. I thought it was really good. I started to come around on Amethyst. Like, it was her time to go, but I appreciate her more as a queen now than I did at the start of the season. So, yeah. Good job, Amethyst, in that lip sync. The double split was great. Selena ate, as I believe the kids say. And I love Lux. I think Lux is super charming. I really like her. And I think Rue saying Malaysia Booby Doll Fox was hilarious. Not sure if she did it on purpose, but I really enjoyed that.
All right, Robert. Robert, what's your middle name?
Paul.
RPM?
Yep, like it's on every car.
What are your thoughts on the rest of the episode?
I mean, a couple of random thoughts that don't make much cohesive sense, but Amethyst and Selena, neither of them I thought should have been in the bottom. But it was a fine enough lip sync. It's rare that I actually know the song that they're lip syncing to, and Queen is from Janelle Monáe's early album Electric Lady, which is this really sick concept album. If you can give it a whole listen in order, you should. It's really well produced, and it has these really fun radio interludes that are just so campy and stupid. I love it. But yeah, a fine, serviceable lip sync that neither of the girls should have been doing, in my opinion.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, like I said, your controversial opinion, which we'll discuss more when we get to the looks, is shared by many. There are a lot of people who are very, very pressed about the judging this week. In fact, see it as a sign of producer riggery. All right. Well, I have no final thoughts. I don't think so. I think we covered everything here. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to go in detail on the looks. We're going to be joined by Bring It to the Runway's other co-host, Christian Ochoa. We'll be back right after this. We are back, and we are joined by the most beloved member of the Afterthought Media family, Nathan Patrick Brown, and Robert Mata, but also from Bring It to the Runway, Christian Ochoa.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah,
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
The most qualified person to talk about looks has finally arrived.
Javi's not here till next week.
Okay, bitch.
Anyway, Christian, welcome to the show. Christian was saying very nice things to Nathan during
Christian
the break.
is an angel. I will defend him for the rest of my life. I am such a stan of Christian.
Nathan can say anything he wants. Like, your voice is my favorite thing about you. I lost my virginity to an Australian. I don't know
Did
if you know
you really?
that. Yes. And
With
we
Paul
are
Hogan.
still friends. Who's Paul Hogan?
Exactly.
Did you enjoy going down under?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we met at the Abbey. It was A through Z. Like, legit, I like bottomed, topped, sucked dick, got my dick sucked, kissed a boy for the first time, held a boy's hand for the first time, all
Bingo.
at once. So
I'm glad you finally got to hold a boy's hand.
okay, I was saying really nice things about Robert too. I said, Robert looks extra hot today, right?
I don't need nice things told about me.
All right, very good. So now we have the looks up. The first one we have is Mistress Isabel Brooks. Christian, what were your thoughts here on Mistress Isabel Brooks?
First of all, MIB is one of my favorite. I mean, you can't deny that she knows how to wear clothes for her proportions, which is very impressive. It's not easy. And I personally thought this look was a major, major top contender because of the construction. The construction alone, in comparison to a lot of the other looks, I was so disappointed that they didn't like this. You can clearly tell she took her time making the top. She's one of the only looks that had very clear, clean seams. She also was working with a large-scale leopard print, which is not easy to work with that material. And that material doesn't look like it's easy to work with. I really like this look. I thought she looked very polished, very much like a woman of a certain time, was serving Michelle Visage. I personally really, really liked it. I think this is one of the best she's served on the runway, personally.
Robert Mata?
It's good. I was less impressed by it as more quality looks continued to walk down the stage. I thought it was overall a pretty good runway and a really good design challenge. My only note is that trend alert capes and trains.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right. Nathan, did you have any thoughts?
It's a toot for me. Anyone who can make a purse gets bonus points. So yeah, toot.
All right. Very good. All right, Ora Mayari. Here we go.
My God. Tragic. A
wait,
travesty.
Robert, stop. Wait, Christian, stop. Robert, what do you think of Ora Mayari's look?
I thought it was hobbled together, and I fully did not understand what that cord is doing around her waist.
All right, there's that cord right there, right now on the YouTube. Nathan, Nathan, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
All right, Christian, go ahead.
Okay, this was definitely bottom for me. It looks clearly unfinished. She either ran out of fabric. I wish she would have used maybe whatever she's using as a scarf as a skirt, and she would have used more of her actual skirt material to create a stronger bodice on top. I was very disappointed. I mean, the bitch can sell clothes, though. The bitch is gorgeous, and I think that's really what saved her, but I personally do not like this look. She should have been in the bottom. It's very unfinished.
Okay, we're going to go to the next queen. And then I'm going to go Nathan, Christian, Robert. Here we go. Next queen who is it? Oh, it's Amethyst. Amethyst, Nathan.
I didn't think it was as bad as they were making it out to be. I mean, yeah, it's not amazing. It was that ruffle on the crotch is a bit fugly, but like I can forgive a lot of things, and I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay, before we go to Christian, I'm not going to describe the looks. We have a lot of looks to get through, but you can, if you want to see what we're talking about, we have the reference looks on the YouTube channel with us. So go ahead. So go to youtube.com/Drag Race Recap. Hey, while you're there, subscribe, and you can follow along what we're looking at. Christian, what are your thoughts here on Amethyst?
This gold silk cowl neckline with a high slit, I think she could have... I wish she would have just focused a little bit more on the fit of the top, because I think she could have pulled off something really effortless, honestly. And I agree with Nathan that ruffle is fugly. Maybe if she would have just not done a panty and done a short leopard, short or skirt under, that could have made an improvement. I kind of dig the styling. Yeah, it's super tacky, but I kind of like it with the hair and everything. But yeah, I think there are other girls that also deserve to be in the bottom if this is what's going to put her in the bottom, you know?
All right, Robert.
It's the House of Visage, and she's giving tacky Visage down. It looks good. She's kind of giving also Anne Hathaway a bit with the bangs and the pony. Not that I'm like some Anne Hathaway stan, but I see the dream that she dreamed. I'm fine with it. Amethyst should not have been in the bottom here.
All right, very good. Next, we have Spice. Christian, your thoughts on Spice?
So she's wearing a two-piece zebra as well. Unfinished. What the fuck? And then it gets worse with the unfinished skirts. Let me just tell you guys, because I have a lot to say about the other looks. But this, I wish she could have used, again, that zebra material more to create a stronger bodice. I don't hate it from the waist up. I love the hair. She always has really cool wigs. But this skirt, no. No, I get what she was going for. It's a no for me.
Robert?
When she walked out and we could only see her head, I actually thought it was Sasha Colby, which really could only be to her benefit. But then looking at everything else, it was just tragic. And I think the worst part are the tights. They're just heinous. And she should have been in the bottom.
Yeah, I saw the tights and they were heinous.
Nathan,
exactly. Nathan, your thoughts here on Spice?
I also didn't like it. It looked really low effort.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Next, we have Luxe Noir London. We're going to go to Robert.
Just immaculate. Just beyond my level of what this eye can behold for beauty. It's just so fucking good. It's just gorgeous. The African beauty of it, just the flow, the pant construction, the head wrap, the necklace, her makeup, everything was just so damn good. I can't gush enough about this look.
All right, Nathan?
I really liked it, and I'm just so pleased that she didn't go the Mary Antoinette look, because like how many times have we seen that? When she said she was going to do that in the workroom, I was like, abort. So super happy with this.
And Christian?
I really enjoyed this look. I think Michelle Visage nailed it when she compared it to Versace meets Cavalli. I completely agree. I definitely like the trousers. I like that she noted how she was able to maximize the scale of the print. Not easy. Love the top. I think she looks stunning. I really enjoyed this look.
All right, very good. Next, we have Robin Fierce. She's a contestant on this season.
She is?
I think we heard her voice for the first time on this runway.
Yeah, Nathan, what were your thoughts on her?
I don't want to sound like an outright Robin hater, but I didn't get the love for it that the judges were conveying. I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, sure, it's fine, but I didn't get it. So if it's amazing, please tell me, boys. I don't know.
All right, Christian?
I personally really loved this look. If anything, I actually think I liked it a little bit more than Lux's. I personally love how she styled this type of garment. Love the hair, first of all. Second, very Vivienne Westwood meets Ralph Lauren. I love this kilt, the pleats. I like the leather bodice for the top. I like the single shoulder pad. The thigh-high boots that we all have work for me with this look. I don't know. I think she looks really edgy, really cunty, but still was able to give us that cohesive element with her collection, which I have to say, this was personally, as a collection, my favorite.
This is the House of Carson or something like that, right?
Correct.
House of Cressley.
Yes, and I actually thought this was very difficult to work with their materials more than the other groups. And I really love the life that they brought to these materials personally, because I wouldn't be as inspired as them. They killed it as a collection, as a group. They were my favorite.
All right, Robert?
Bitches see plaid and always say Westwood. And I don't know if that's always the tea. Like, I see bitches, like, I'll be at a fucking picnic and the tablecloth will look plaid-y and someone will be like, damn, that fucking tablecloth is
That's
Westwood
gingham.
down, sis. Regardless, I think Robin's outfit kind of looks like a randomizer on some, like, Western open world video game. Like, what is going on here? And the boots are half the outfit. I don't get it. But the wig is sick. Work, Robin Fierce.
She's gorgeous.
Next, we have Jax. Christian, your thoughts on Jax?
Jax created a very preppy two-piece look as well. This does give punk Westwood energy. I know Robert's not a fan of that, but I was personally impressed by the construction of the skirt with that double-faced tartan. And I love that she used the grommets from a shower curtain to give us some embellishment on that hemline. I like that her skirt and Robin's skirt actually are completed and they look like full fucking skirts that are actually covering their body. And yes, I mean, the construction was a little poor, but she gave us a jacket. She gave us boot covers. She gave us this plaid skirt. I personally did get that athletic prep energy. And I love that the group overall gave us a very athletic, an edgy take on classic American prep. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Robert?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Heather? Like, have Heather's references not been played out on the Drag Race stage? I think Gigi did it. I think a couple other girls have done it at some point. A lot of people do the same plaid Clueless as well. And then this particular look threw me back to the Madonna runway, the second one, when Nina Bonina Brown and Trinity wore the same Madonna plaid, gray plaid look. And Nina Bonina Brown's was poorly constructed in comparison to Trinity's. And Jax's had that same boxy, baggy type of thing. I like Jax and I like Jax's wig and I like the construction of the boots, but everything else was kind of raggedy.
Nathan?
Heather?
It was giving me Westwood. It was giving me Heathers. I thought it was better than they said. I was really annoyed when Ross was like, I didn't understand it. And I'm like, how do you not understand the fucking Heathers reference? As Robert said, it's been done. Catch up, Ross. So,
right.
You know what? I thought it looked a bit rough, but I thought it was better than they said.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree.
Next, we have, this is Anitra. Well, Robert, let's start with you with Anitra.
What was this? Like, talk about half-finished looks. She just showed up with her, what's that orange color that looks like clay? The tights. Something's wrong. That she didn't bother to do the skirt even. The wig is frayed. The top is on top of her, and that's about it. I just wasn't feeling a single part of this look. I'm sorry, Anitra. Like, I love you, girl, but not this look.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nathan?
Yeah, I also didn't know what was going on with it.
All right. Christian?
I don't love the boots with it either. I think she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous queen, but the nerve this bitch had to be like, I'm upset I wasn't in the top. This look is sickening. Bitch, maybe if you finished your garment on top, maybe if she made it a full dress, maybe if she would have finished her fucking skirt. You know, I do kind of dig this leather panty and belt and collar, but like at least give a skirt on the other side. No, it looks like she ran out of fucking materials. No.
All right, very good. Next we have Selena S titties. Nathan, you start, right? Yeah.
I thought it was dreadful. I don't know why she was carrying around a big blanket. It was too much. I didn't like it.
Y'all can go to hell. I don't need you. I don't need any of you.
Oh, Selena! I forgot to tell you, I asked Selena to be on the show.
Hey, girl.
Hi, Selena. I love you.
I got hot Cheetos for you.
You're so gifted at impressions. You really are.
Christian, your thoughts?
Okay, first of all, I loved this look. It was actually my favorite look of the night. Controversial opinion. First of all, I think this is the best she's ever looked. I love this unit, and I love her fucking mug. She looks gorgeous. Her lip sync. Okay, bitch, now we know why you're here, right? She fucking ate, left no fucking crumbs, literally vacuumed them up with her fucking hoo-ha because she kept humping the fucking floor. But you guys, this is very Tommy Hilfiger, Montclair, puffer, vest. I love it when she unzipped it and it turned into a fucking skirt on suspenders. What the fuck? Like, you guys, this is sickening. I actually loved the tailoring on top. I didn't think she had such terrible fit issues like the judges were saying. I liked the skirt. She actually gave us a completed fucking look, unlike half of her team and half of the other fucking team. I think this is really sick. In terms of fashion, I think this was super forward. I love the mixed use of textures. I love the color blocking that she gave us. I thought it was very Americana, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger with a little Montclair twist. I really appreciated this look. And yeah, I think the judges were just not as informed. And when they're like, there's just so much going on. Bitch, look at the House of Visage, bitch. That shit was a lot going on. Look at tacky ass Palm Springs energy. That shit was a lot going on. If anything, this was like the most focused collection as a group. I personally really appreciated this look. I do not think she should have been in the bottom. There are bitches with way worse looks. And at least if you're not going to appreciate her look, appreciate her swing. At least Selena attempted a lot. Versus some other bitches. Versus Spice, who I love Spice, but no. Versus fucking Aura Mayari, no. That's all I gotta say on that.
Anitra.
Robert?
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that Christian got to go before me because I share his opinion and I wanted to have the controversial take, but I loved this look. It does definitely look a bit... What's up?
We have been so on the same page about every look. I love it. That's so rare.
Twins.
You're both wrong.
Yeah. That always makes for good podcasting, that everybody agrees on everything.
Harmony. It's chunky.
Hey, leave these two trolls alone. They know what they're talking about.
Okay, Selena, calm down. Christian has a tight out.
There ain't nothing tight about that boy.
Okay.
I'm obsessed. Please invite this bitch on more often, I swear. Anyway, sorry, Robbie, to cut you off.
I pretend to be Mexican. I don't need to be invited.
I'm sorry, but she's really annoying. Selena, shut up.
Have you
Okay, go
heard
ahead.
that video where she speaks really like I do, like the complete code switch professional voice that she did when she was a twink in drag, or when she started drag, she was a twink who spoke in the same voice that I use, basically.
Oh, so what Joe accuses me of doing? Because I did not appreciate that comparison to fucking Spice on the last episode, so I'm here to set the record straight, putas. I sound like a faggot. You said that she changed her voice completely, which I do agree. That shit was a little like, okay, bitch, this is your real character. You try to pull an Adore and Michelle on my ganja ass.
No. You don't sound different. It's just on air you're an asshole, and off the air you're not.
Okay, well, for the record, I sound like a faggot on the mic, and I sound like a faggot off
true.
the mic.
That's true. Yeah.
He sucks dick like a faggot too.
Selena, seriously, we'll have you on next week. Who am I looking back at, by the way?
Oh, girl, I think she'd come, girl. She's a neighbor.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Now, Christian, I will say this: we're going to the house of Matthews. Okay, I know you said you had a tight out. So, are you sticking around, or are you sticking?
No, yeah,
we'll
stick around. But Joe, what did you think of this look? I want to know your opinion.
Visually, I don't know. I don't know anything, right? I dress like Chaz Bono on Laundry Day, but
Chad.
But it does look like it's difficult. She should have gotten extra credit. It looked hard.
She
looks hard because she's dragging around a picnic blanket.
Yeah.
I would honestly wear it. I actually just kind of bought something like it. Like, no cap. It's like right there. Should I get it?
No. Yeah, put it on.
No.
Okay.
I thought you have a tight out.
No, okay, get to the next look, and then I'll walk on with it on.
All right, next we have Sasha Colby. Let's start with... Well, it was actually Christian's turn to start, but we'll go to Robert. Robert, what were your thoughts on Sasha Colby?
I was lied to. She should not have been in the top for this. Yes, she looks hot. Yes, she looks good. But I personally can't stand that style of high pony. I think it's rancid. But in general, Sasha looks great. And I've never quite seen a jacket connected to the arms just like that, and that is sick. But it was not top worthy. Very high safe though.
Yeah,
those legs are given.
Nathan,
I loved it. You know, they were saying, like, you can't just do Palm Springs and just wear a swimsuit and a cape or whatever, but, like, she did, and it looked great. That's what Palm Springs is to me, so...
Precinct must have popped off last night at this look. Christian.
Okay, I agree with both of you a lot. I do think it was a very high safe. I was not as impressed, but... This is how you sell. This is how you model. This is how you fucking pussy stunt. I love the cape. Like Robert, I've never seen something like that because it truly was like a jacket cape. I love that it was not a caftan. The swimsuit is extremely well constructed. I mean, this bitch looks incredible, and I actually love a dramatic phony pony. That's what we call those crazy ass ponytails. I love it. I loved it. She looked like Palm Springs Barbie. I agree with Nathan.
All right. Next, we have Lucy LaDuca. Christian, let's start with you.
Well-constructed pants. Honestly, I feel like they got really shitty materials. And if I got to choose like one of the aesthetics, I would have probably chosen Palm Springs because I loved like the color palettes and mid-century modern and stuff. But and I love prints, and I do like these prints individually. Something about it, I don't want to love it, but I can't deny that it is well made, and she looks polished in comparison
Christian,
to
you
most.
should have just stopped at well constructed because, as you know, I'm a construction worker
And a singer.
and a singer.
I don't think
Talented,
she's a singer.
allegedly.
Oh, I'm a singer, all right. I'll sing a song for you right now. And I do Dolly Parton, by the way. We'll always love you. By the way, Joe just played with my voice and made me sound awful like that. That was actually really good.
Okay, Lucy. Robert, I don't know why all the cast of season 15 is here. Robert, and why do I keep looking back at them? That's what I want to know. Like, why do I think that they're standing right here? Robert, what were your thoughts?
I have said already on this potty that I don't really vibe with Lucy's personality very much, but I did think this look was really sick. I liked it.
Did you appreciate variety? Did you appreciate variety in her silhouette?
If I, for some foolish reason, get bonked on the head and decide to book a night at the Trixie Mattel, I would not be mad if I'm greeted by a hostess in this look.
Yeah, that would be cute.
I hated it. I thought, yeah, like Christian said, the prints are nice on their own, but altogether I said yuck. And I thought the pants were well constructed from the front, but I didn't understand what that like panel was when she turned around. It looked like she didn't have enough material or something. I don't know. I didn't like it.
The judges were dropping every Palm Springs reference they could. Sorry.
I liked them. They were funny. Like, she's showing her cabazon. That was hilarious, actually. I liked it a lot.
Next, we have Malaysia, Baby Doll, Fox. Nathan, let's start with you. What do you think here?
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Oh,
I'd just make it safe. I don't know why she was scooched into the top, but I thought she did all right.
all right, Christian?
Completely agree with Nathan. I think she looks really pretty. I love when Janelle Monáe said that she looks like the first lady of Palm Springs Baptist Church or whatever. That was down the look. But I agree with Nathan. Definitely not a top contending look. Completely agree with you.
Very good. And Robert?
I would put it low, actually. The floppy hat doesn't do it for me. The dog collar doesn't do it for me. The cape doesn't look well constructed. It's the same boring little dress that we've seen 20 billion times. Nothing about it is interesting.
And finally, we have Marsha. Christian, why don't you bring it home?
Marsha is wearing a two-piece, flowy, large-scale, banana leaf printed, like chiffon dress, giving a 60s silhouette, these flouncy sleeves. It's like a bra, kind of, not a bra, but it's a blouse that ties on top with this cute skirt. I think it was very safe, but I'm really getting tired of seeing her in like monochromatic, like two-piece matching fucking sets. No, I'm like getting over her, and I really like her, but yeah, I'm not feeling this that much.
All right, Robert?
The safest look that's ever been constructed in the history of safe looks. But she did drag up her makeup a little bit, by which I mean that she applied like blue garage doors on her eyes, and I guess she gets props for listening to the judges.
Nathan?
It was very Mugler, very Cavalli with like a little smidge of like Abercrombie and Fitch. No, super safe, nothing great.
Nathan, you're I really thought you were being serious when you said Mugler. I was like, has he seen a Mugler show? I was like, Mugler?
I have not.
I'll send you
All
some
right,
stuff.
any final thoughts before I wrap this puppy up?
Put Anitra and Spice in the bottom. Like, come on, let's be serious.
I would even say Aura.
Well, who would you take out of the
Spice.
bottom, Christian? Who would you have taken out?
Selena. I really liked her look.
Selena
She wasn't-
and who, Jax?
No. Oh, and Jax, actually. Yeah, I don't think Jax should have been in the bottom either. I don't think Selena or Jax should have been down there. No.
Robert, you agree with that?
I don't think Amethyst should have been in the bottom either. Put Malaysia in the low spot and have Anitra and Spice duke it out.
Nathan?
I liked Malaysia more than Amethyst.
I have a feeling that they just thought it's Amethyst's time to go, and they put Selena in the bottom just because they knew she'd turn it out. And so I didn't really care that much. It was a good lip sync. And I think overall they did quite well. Like, we didn't have a La La Ree bag moment. I think overall a good crop of queens for the design challenge.
All right, very good. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next week and every week. Oh, wait, hold on. Robert, do you have any plugs?
No.
Christian, do you have any plugs?
Yes, everybody, please follow me at Hella_Christian. Do not be afraid to say hello. You guys are actually paying attention, and I did see a wave of new followers, and you guys are all really funny. And I love it, especially when you guys send me screenshots of shit you guys send Joe on my behalf. Thank you. The Christian Army is lit, and I love it.
Is this a plug?
Yeah, DM
or is this
me.
Really, thank
No,
you
I'm
for
telling them
taking
to-
up all my plug time. You're
Yeah.
evangelizing yourself.
Yes, I'm feeling it. But please follow Robert as well. RAW54_.
RAWB no underscore.
Oh.
Anyway, as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15. So for Nathan Patrick Brown, Robert Mata, and Christian Ochoa, and myself,
Sashay away until next week.
thank you for listening to RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia or email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ content, support us on Patreon at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This episode was produced by Luke Stamen and Zach Birch. Nathan Brown has 2 other podcasts. The first is Breaking Down Bad Books, and the other is Bravo Bravo Effing Bravo. You can find those podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find Nathan on Instagram at NathanBrown90. Follow Joe Betance on Instagram at Joe Betance. Special thanks to these expensive tier Patreon supporters: Alex S., Anonymous, April Pacheco, Astute Girl, Brad Coley, Carter McKinnon, Karina Williamson, Deckhead,
Bam!
Devin McKay, Doofus Maximus, E. Smith, Elizabeth Timmer, Emma, Humble Pie, J. Thomas Plank, Jesse Harris,
Back rolls.
Lauren Eckert, Lucy Carrasco, Luke Stamen, Mike Yeager, Nicholas Springham, Nikki Baker, Poppy Woods, Ricardo Herrera,
Get those
Robert NYC, Sarah Yu, Tom Bombs, Travi Cosmos, Troy Anderson, Zach Nelson. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.